Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm actually doing a story time. It's all tea. So I don't know how this story came to my mind, y'all, but I was doing my makeup and I was like, then I asked my wife, I was like, have I ever told you about the time one of my exes had a hickey? And she was like, a hickey? I was like, yeah, a hickey on her lip. And she was like, on her lip? How? And before I even started telling her the story, like, I was like, I have to do this as a story time. Like, I have to tell y'all how ignorant people are. So, and I thought it would just be fun. I'm like, it was like almost 10 years ago. Oh my God. I'm getting old. I was a teenager when this happened. So, it was a long time ago, okay, y'all? Before I even get into this, it was a long time ago. But it's still foolish. Thinking about it, I'm like, I should have beat her up. We should have had a fight, but I didn't. But we almost did. So I'm telling y'all and Eb at the same time so that she can get some of this tea. Okay, so when I was 18, fresh out of high school, it was my freshman year of college, I had a girlfriend. And, you know, like, we had been together on and off at that point, what, over a year? Yeah, we had been together for a little bit. I don't know why, because she was foolish. But anyway, so actually I was 19. I was 19 because this was the summer going into, all right, so no, so let me say that I was 19 because it was the summer before my sophomore year in college. So I had just finished freshman year. Don't even matter when, don't even matter. This is what happened. At the time, we were both working at Pizza Hut together. We both worked there together, and so I worked there first, and then after I graduated, she ended up going to work there. And when I came home, I would work there on the weekends, and then obviously for the summer. So then this particular ex, and we'll call her Maya. Maya? Hey? Maya. We'll call her Maya.
Are you asking me? I don't even know.
We'll call her Maya.
Sure.
So Maya was the ex. And Maya had a history of cheating already, okay? So cheater, pumpkin eater.
Not a cheater.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yes, she was already a cheater. So strike one already. And it was crazy because we had literally, yep, it was the summer. That's how I know. We had literally just gotten back together. And so that's what made it so, like, really, bitch? Because she already cheated on me prior to this. I know, y'all. Don't judge me. I was, like I said, I was a teenager. We all done been there. We all done been dumb. So he had already cheated on me before, but it wasn't like a major whatever. So I was like, okay, you know, we're gonna get back together. Y'all know how you be. But like, we're gonna work it out. We're gonna be together and blah, 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 blah. And then, so this is how I knew something was going on. Because even though we had been back together for maybe about 2 weeks, honestly, it was real quick that we had just been back together, and she was acting different already. Like, before we got back together, she was all like posting me on her Instagram. Instagram had just come out at this time, or it was like fresh. It was real fresh, you know, like 2011, 2012. It was like real fresh.
And she was posting on the gram.
Posting me on the gram, you know. So,
but she posted on Facebook though, right?
We was posting on Facebook too back then. It was Facebook. We was Facebook official.
Ooh.
That's why it's like him humiliating, like humiliating how it happened, guys. Like, so then before that, you know, like she was always like all up under me, like calling me, texting me, FaceTiming all the time. No, not even FaceTiming, because I didn't even have an iPhone at the time. No, I just got one, so not even FaceTiming, but like just calling all the time. Back then, FaceTiming wasn't the thing. It was just like we on the phone, we texting all the time. And so I'm like, before, when she cheated on me, this is how I knew, because she ain't slick. Like she decided, it's like she want to get caught or wanted to get caught, because on her Instagram, suddenly she would stop responding to my comments. You know, like that's how I knew when she was up to no good. She would stop responding to comments. Like if I'd be like, love you, or miss you, or something, then all of a sudden she'll just like the comment. She she wouldn't, you know, like say, oh, I love you back, or I miss you, babe, or whatever, you know, the little cute stuff. And then she would always have, like, you know, back then people used to do shout out for shout out. I don't know if people still do that, but they would do like shout out for shout out, follow for follow, whatever. So she would shout out people and be like, go follow my best friend. Anytime she put somebody on there and said my best friend, and it was somebody who I didn't know, I already knew what was up. I'm like, this somebody she either thinking about fooling with, or they're really fooling around. So I will always keep my eyes out. And let me tell you, if you gotta be somebody that you have to always keep your eyes out, don't be with them. Period. Point blank. I learned that that was my last relationship that I dealt with that, and I was like, never again. Deuces. So I knew something was up, because like maybe a couple days before all of this happened, she had posted this girl and was like, y'all go follow my best friend, I miss my best friend. And it was a girl, like we went to the same high school. Like I knew everybody she knew, because the high school that we went to was real small. Like the entire school was maybe 300 people. So everybody knew everybody. So I'm like, who is this chick? This ain't your best friend. Like, who is she? But I didn't say nothing. Like I went to the girl page. The girl page was private. I requested her. Of course she didn't accept me. But I looked on there and I'm like, under the comments, a lot of Maya's friends who were also cool with me, yes, they were her friends, but they were cool with me too, were like, oh man, that's, you know, hey, such and such. Like they knew this girl. And I'm like, how they know her? You know, like, it's not like she go places without me, go to parties without me, go anything without me to meet new people. So like, how does your best friend all of a sudden, you know? So I'm like, okay, something up. And the girl never accepted my follow request, even though like Maya was shouting her out so to give her more followers, right? So I'm like, okay, all right, cool. Okay, cool. So then I noticed as a couple days, you know, they were liking each other's stuff a lot, commenting on every picture. But Maya, like I said, stopped posting me. Okay, cool. So here's like a Saturday. And then here's Saturday come around. We have to go to work. Maya had a car, but her car didn't always work the best way. And I had a car. I was out of high school. I had a car. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna come pick you up so we can go to work. This was this in the morning. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pick you up so we can go to work together, because we work the same shift. And I'm like, you know, that's my baby. Like, we gonna have to work together. We gonna be together. We gonna be cute. Foolish. So it was like we didn't have to go to work until like 5 o'clock that afternoon. So we established that we was going to ride to work together early that morning. So here's like 12 or 1 o'clock. I don't know, you like intuition, Pisces intuition, like it's nothing to fool with. I've always known when something going on. Always. No one can ever get anything over my head. So it was like something just hit me and was like, call Maya. And it was like a boom in the chest, like, call Maya. And I was like, okay. So I called and she didn't pick up. First of all, that's weird because Maya was the type of person to always pick up her phone. So I'm like, okay. So I called again. Like, I waited a couple minutes and I called again. Nope, no answer. What? So I kind of like, I was like, what's really going on? So then I text and I'm like, what you doing? No response. And at this point, 2 phone calls and text message later and I haven't heard nothing. So I waited, you know, it's like 20 minutes later and I'm just sitting here marinating and I'm like, something going on. Like, something going on. Like, you can feel your woman's intuition. It never leads you wrong. Like, I felt it. I was like, man, something going on. Like, what's going on? So, I start calling Maya's phone because I saw on Maya's cousin's page that they were together. But I didn't bring the cousin into this because I'm like, they don't got nothing to do with the cousin. I'm like, I started they were together an hour prior to that. So I'm like, okay, so they still together. So I start calling my phone back to back. And when I said suddenly my phone calls keep getting rejected, I'm the type of person, or I used to be the type of person, I'm not crazy anymore. Don't, huh?
You haven't been crazy with me, but that sounds pretty crazy.
But let me tell you, the only time you have to be crazy is when somebody is messing over you. So if you have to be crazy, then you don't need to be with them.
True.
But I had to be crazy. Like, I had to show that I'm like, this mother effer is playing with me right now.
Playing with you.
Playing with me.
Don't play with you.
Playing with me. So it's like my heart start racing, my blood start boiling. Like, you just know, it's like the adrenaline pumping. You know something going on. And no confirmation, nothing. All I know is that my phone call's not being answered, my text message not being answered, and now you're rejecting my calls. So when I tell you I blew this phone up, I call that phone 50 to 100 times. I ain't gonna lie. I kept, I call it, it'll go straight to voicemail, hang up, call again, it'll ring once, go to voicemail. I kept calling. I texting. I'm like, what are you doing? What's going on? Why you not answering the phone? Like, because, like I said, Maya had a history of cheating. So I already knew something was up. So it was like, the feeling felt too similar. It was too similar. I'm like, okay. So I'm going to Instagram. I'm looking at my comments, like the last couple posts. I'm looking at everything. Back then, Instagram didn't have stories or videos. So it was just, I'm the FBI, the CIA, everybody. And so I'm looking at her comments. I'm going to her cousin page, trying to see if her cousin posted anything, looking at their comments. I went to Facebook. I'm like, nah, I don't really be on Facebook like that too much. I'm looking through everything. And then I'm like, let me go to the girl page. So the girl still hadn't accepted me. So I'm saying, okay, you know what? She's not going to accept me because she know who I am. However, I didn't always go to the same high school. So I had friends that Maya didn't know and that other people didn't know that I was friends with. So I went ahead and called one of my friends, and you better always have some down friends. You always got to have a friend who's down for you, or a friend who's ready to give you their password at the drop of a dime. If you don't have no friends like that, you're doing something wrong. But so I called my friend and I was like, whoop-de-woo, I need your Instagram password. I need to go ahead and no questions asked. My friend was like, here, this is my username, this is my login. She was like, what's going on? I was like, I'll tell you later. She was like, okay, here, girl. So she gave me her Instagram password, username and password. I went ahead and logged out of mine, logged in, went to the girl page, requested the girl. So then I just sat back and waited. I was like, okay, I'm gonna wait. The girl didn't accept her at that moment, but I'm like, she have no reason not to accept her because there's no connection with me on my friend's page. There's no pictures of us together. Like, back then, Instagram didn't tell you like, oh, these are connection, friends, whatever. So I'm like, she gonna accept her. First of all, she white. She live in a whole nother city. There's no reason to connect her, so she's gonna accept her. So I waiting. So after I did that, I went ahead and I started calling the phone again. I was like, okay, I didn't calm down. I mean, I've calmed down, but I'm still like boiling on the inside. So I'm like, okay, calling the phone back to back. Because at this point, it's like 3 o'clock. We got to be at work at 5. So, and I'm supposed to be coming to pick you up. So, where you at? Why you still not answering the phone? And here it is over an hour later. And I done blew your phone up for an hour. But, so I don't hear from her. I just end up having to calm down, call my best friend. It's like, you know, you get that, you don't have any proof right now, so just be cool. Like, just let it go. Like, something could have happened. I'm like, okay, you're right. You are so right. So here it is, like 4:30. Where we worked at, where me and Maya worked at, was maybe 5 minutes up the road. So we could have left at 4:50 and made it there on time. So here it is, like 4:30, and then finally Maya calls me and was like, I was asleep, but I was with my cousin earlier and we had ran out of gas, so I couldn't answer the phone for you because we was trying to get
bad lies.
We was trying to get her dad to come and put us some gas in the car because we was in the middle of the road. And here go me. I'm like, well, why didn't you answer the phone for me? Because I wasn't doing nothing and I could have came and got y'all.
Because we didn't want you to come. Because I'm lying.
So, so I'm like,
well, thanks though.
Right. She was like, oh, well, because we was on a whole nother part of town because her mama had sent us to do something. It was a lot of lies. And it was like, we was over the phone at this point, but my face, like, if she could have seen my face, if looks could have killed through the phone, I felt that it was something, like, my soul told me, this bitch lying. And you got to find out what the lie is, okay? So, and it gets worse because the bitch embarrassed me. You gonna embarrass me and lie to me? Oof. So then, okay, I'm like, all right, well, I'll be at your house in 5 minutes so we could go to work. Cool. I get to her house and she not dressed for work, but then we hug, we kiss, and then like it's like as soon as we walk through the door, as soon as I walk through the door, she like hugged me and kissed me. Like I couldn't get a good look at her. And I'm like, okay. But you know, I'm like standoffish because I'm like, MFR, you ignored me for a lot of the day, so I'm still trying to figure out where you was at, what you was doing. And I ain't gonna put her cousin into this. I wanted to so bad. Because it's not like I didn't have her cousin number, but I'm like, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna be that person. I had to talk myself down the whole day. So then while she getting ready, it's like she wouldn't look at me. What? Why won't you look at me? Usually you all over me. So finally we get in the car and I looked at her and she had so she was super, super yellow. Super, super light skin, whatever y'all call it. She was yellow. So she, her lips, you can tell, she didn't have black lips. She had looked like white people lips. So she had a purple mark. Let me see. I'm like, I wish I had something the color of it. A big purple mark across the bottom of her lip. And I was like, what happened to your lip? It looked like somebody had she had a fight. It was like a big, her whole bottom lip, right here. So I'm like, what the hell? What happened to your lip? And she was like, oh, the stupidest lie in the world. And I should have punched her in the mouth at that point. I promise. She said, I bit my lip when I was sleeping. What? And I knew it was a lie, but I couldn't prove it was a lie. I didn't know what it really was from.
Some lies need to be called on who.
It was like, I was like, you did what? She was like, yeah, when I woke up, it was hurting. I guess I was biting my lip in my sleep. What? It was like, you know, like you just have one of those moments like where you're like, am I supposed to be that dumb? Am I that dumb for you to even think that that was a good enough lie? What? Who am I? I had so many questions in my head, but it was like I couldn't ask anything else, y'all, because I felt like if I said anything else, like we was gonna get into it, we was gonna be fighting, but I had no reason to at that moment. You know, it was like you have no basis, you have no proof, you don't know. Maybe she really did. Maybe she bit her lip. Like, so we get to work, and it was embarrassing. It was a long night at work because people kept saying, and I found out later why they kept asking.
They knew.
They knew. So,
Is somebody I work with?
It was somebody I worked with. So, you know, like,
listen to the story.
Yeah, listen to the story. So, we was at work, and Maya was like making the pieces, and I was like, the front person. So I was answering the phones, taking payments, whatever, doing all the other stuff, and all the other little workers was like, man, what's on Maya lip? What's that? What happened to Maya lip? And I'm like, I don't know. Ask her. Like, you know, like ask her. Like, why y'all asking me? And they, you know, like some of the dudes they thought it was funny. They was like, man, they look bad. What's on her lip? What you did to her lip? I was like, I didn't do anything. Like, what are you talking about? And she was like, you know, she was trying to brush it off all night. Like, man, y'all chill, man. Chill. Like, ain't nothing. Like, I bit my lip. Blah, blah, blah. So all night, I'm pissed. Because, first of all, like, why everybody making it such a big deal? You know, like, usually you go to work. And everybody, it was young people who worked there. So it was like, everybody know everybody. You know, everybody follow each other on social media. Like, what... But why is it so funny? Why everybody keep asking? Why is it like not the first, like they asked the first time and then they keep asking all night? Like what? Something else is up. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get to the bottom of this. I didn't ask again though that night. I didn't ask again what the hell it was. We went, you know, got off, dropped her off, went home. Here it is Sunday, the next night. I'm like, okay. I logged back in that morning. I was like, I gave that other girl the whole night to accept my friend's page friend request. So I'm like, at this point, it's Sunday, she answered the request because now she's not doing nothing, you know? So I went ahead and then I logged back in. I go to the girl page immediately because she accepted. And what's the first thing I see? Maya on the girl page. My Maya on this girl page. Not one picture, not two pictures, but multiple pictures of them together. And I am behooved. I can't even describe the emotion that I felt at that point because it was like, you know, like the 5 stages of grief. Like I went through, I was like angry, like I was embarrassed, embarrassment, humiliation, like death to her. Like I was, it was everything. I couldn't even function. Like I got dizzy. That's how like all the emotions started hitting me at one time. So then I was like, okay, let me go. The picture that stood out to me the most was the picture of Maya's lips. So in the midst of all these other pictures, it was a big picture of Maya's lips. That was it. So, and I'm like, I know these lips. I kiss these lips too often to not know who these lips are for. And that big, ugly purple mark. So that was the first picture I clicked on before I even looked at anything else. And it said, someone have a hickey on their lips with a smiley face. And it was a good thing I was home alone, y'all, because I just screamed. I screamed and I just broke down right there. I was like, oh my God. Because not only was it a picture of the lips and talking about Hickie with a smiley face, so that already let me know who made the Hickie, and this Hickie was made yesterday. Then this MFer kissing me. I'm getting mad thinking about it, but not really, because it was almost 10 years ago. But the comments were of friends, Maya's friends, people who knew me, people who went to school with me, people who were supposed to be cool with me also. But you know, like, that's their main friends, whatever. But you know, these people who call you sis, who call, you know, like friend, whatever, they under the picture like, oh man, ha ha, like y'all doing a lie, you know, y'all cute together, this. And I'm just like, what? Like, these are people who are same people who are under my page every day talking about love y'all together, y'all so cute, this, you know, same things. So it's like, and y'all knew. So y'all knew? What? I don't know what hurt more, like the humiliation of everybody else knowing, or the cheating. I don't know. I don't know which one hurt me more. So then finally I started looking at all the other pictures I've seen. They had pictures together from the day before, like all hooked up and kisses, and then they had pictures together from like a previous weekend. And I'm like, when was this? It had to be sometime where I was off at school and didn't come home, which was rare. Like, it had to be sometime, it was a rare occasion that I was at school and didn't come home every weekend to see this MFer. So I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, okay, so yesterday that's where you was at. And then I inspect the gadget. I find out this girl lived on the entire other side of town. So you drove like 40 minutes away to go and see this chick when you couldn't drive 5 minutes up the road to go to work. This why you wearing out of gas. Because her, what's the little thing called? Yeah, her little gas meter didn't work. So she never knew how much gas she had in the car. I was like, what? And then her cousin was with her. This cousin who called me cousin and be like, oh, I'm not your cousin. Whew. People be so fake. That's why, like, people families, I used to be like, man, nah, I ain't fooling with nobody family. After that, I stopped fooling with people family. Like, when relationships stuff, I was like, I ain't really trying to be cool with nobody family, because family be playing both sides. Family will play both sides on you real quick. And so, and this was before Maya's mom really like got cool with me, because this was like the first year Maya's mom didn't like her being gay, But then after that, you know, we got cool, and so she would call me if anything was going crazy. But before, you know, like, she had my number, she knew what was going on. So as I'm looking through the pictures, like, I read all the comments, I just got angrier and angrier, and the sadness, like, I cried and screamed. I was, like I said, I was so glad I was at home alone, because my sisters probably would have been ready to fight. And so finally my tears and my humiliation just turned straight into rage. Like, all I saw was red. And I'm not even that type of person. Like, I don't yell, I don't like argue, but I was ready to yell, argue, and fight at this moment. So like, I called her phone and she was like, yeah, what's up? You know, because at this point you feeling like you done got away with it. So it's over 24 hours later, like, you haven't gotten in trouble, you ain't get caught, nobody said nothing, and all the people at work was the people who was commenting on the pictures too. So it's like, they all knew. So whatever. So then I was like, oh, okay. So I called her and she was like, what's up? I was like, I'm coming over. And like I said, her mama didn't like me at the time. She didn't want us to even be cool. So I wasn't allowed in her house. But I was like, I'm coming over. So either you coming outside or I'm coming in. And I'm saying it calm, but I did not say it calm like that. And she was like, man, what's wrong with you? I was like, I'll be there in 2 minutes. And either you coming outside or I'm coming in. And she was like, man, don't come over here with no BS. Like, what's wrong with you? And my thing is, so the whole relationship, maybe once I went off before this. there was maybe one time where I had even like stood up for myself or was like anything. So she was sitting there probably like, man, what is she acting weird? She acting crazy. Like, she don't even act like this. She just let me do whatever I want to do, you know? But it's like people get fed up. And honestly, and I'll be honest with y'all, like, that should have been my fed up mark. I should have been done through.
Tell me you didn't.
Nah, we got back together after that.
Oh.
Not, it wasn't immediate, but we didn't get back together, but we still fooled around for years after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I was a fool. Like I said, I was 19 years old. I had just made 19. I'm disappointed too when I think back on it because I should have beat her. Like, I should have got a brick and like threw it through her car window, calling my sisters, and she was a big bitch. So
wait a minute.
we definitely should have like tore her ass up. Like, I should have told my sisters, and I never told my sisters because they would have been on it. But nah, I was dumb. I was beyond. But like we all go through that phase of being dumb. But anyway, so I pull up. I drove over there. I got over there so quick. I don't think I ever drove around somewhere so fast. I sped over there so quick. And she like lived across the street from a park. So I pulled my car into the grass in the park. I ain't even park on the street. I whipped that thing around and she was outside before I had even stopped the car. Cause it was like she must have been waiting for me. Cause she was like, man, this girl yelling. She don't ever yell. She crazy. Like my mom at home. She get outside. I hopped out. And the first thing I should have did was punch her in her face. But I didn't. Like I said, I'm not a violent person. Even though I wanted to be. I started yelling. I was like, you got a hickey on your lip? Like, you lying to me? You kissing me? And you done been kissing somebody else all day? Like, you got people laughing under y'all pictures talking about some y'all cute, this babe. Like, and we just got back to, like, what was your purpose of getting back with me? Doing all of that to get me back if you still wanted to just do all this dumb stuff, you know? Like, what is your purpose? And so we just got some arguing. She was like, man, calm down. Like, we just cool. It wasn't supposed to happen like that. Like, you doing too much. I'm doing too much. And this is a toxic person. Like, they messed up, but they making you feel crazy for being upset. You come to my house with all this BS. Like, my mama could hear you. Like, you yelling, and you need to calm down. It was too much. It was too much. What happened after that made me disappointed even more so in myself. But I was like, you need to call her and tell her you don't want her no more. That you're not about to do this. Like,
oh no, not one of those. Tell me you didn't. And not the phone call. That don't mean nothing. I'm only gonna call because you telling me to call. That's that young. Yeah. I had somebody call me on some stuff like that before, and I was like, what? I was so confused.
Yeah.
Like, what? You text me. I was not even trying to talk to you. Now you calling me on some BS talking about you can't talk to me no more. You love your girl. You can't do this. You never wanted to talk to me. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
But if we go back in these DMs and I send some screenshots, then we'll definitely.
It wasn't no screenshots back then, so it was like, sure. I'm like, text her, call her, block her from your phone. Because I'm so mad. Like, going back on it, I'm like, man.
Text her, like, man, if you got to do all that, you might well.
And it get worse. Like, the story get worse. Like, it don't even end there for me, like, just being dumb. Like, it get worse.
Oh, come on.
It get worse. Like, I'm sitting here, I'm like, dude, I was so young and dumb and just desperate for attention. I just had to be desperate for attention. And I don't even understand why I was desperate for attention, because there was other people. I was in college. Like, there was people who wanted to date me. But
That's who you was caught up on.
That was who you was caught up on. Like, you get to that person who you think is your first big love. Like, that high school person who turned into a after high school person who just turned into this toxic person. Everybody have one. Everybody have one. Who just lead them down a path of darkness, and you come up out of the water like you've been drowning for years, and then you come up and then you be like, what was I doing? Why was I doing it? But I ain't gonna lie, like after that relationship, I learned so much, because I never, and when I say never, I never was a fool after that. Like, I never dealt with cheating after that relationship. So there were, you know, like you have other problems in relationships, you deal with other stuff, but cheating has always been a zero tolerance, non-negotiable for me after that, because I was like, man, I went through so much. That wasn't the first time this girl cheated on me. It wasn't the last time this girl cheated on me. And I just allowed so much. It took so much of me. You want to know what happened after?
Yeah.
You want to know how dumb I was? Same day.
You know what, though? Like, hearing this hurt my feelings, bro, that you even had to go through that. That's crazy. I don't even like whoever this person is. Yeah. I got some bad stuff I would say if we went on camera to you, Maya. But it's all good now. I won. Your loss.
Right. But anyway, no, so, all right. So we went back and forth in the parking lot for a little bit. Made me feel dumb. You know, like, and that's how you know it's toxic. Made me feel dumb. Made me feel like I was doing too much. Like, because I was over there ready to fight. I'm like, we not together, you know, whatever. So my sister, and if my sister would have known all this was going on, she would have never. But I didn't tell her. So my sister was supposed to do Maya's hair that day. Mm-hmm. So after we get through arguing and everything, Maya was like, are you still going to take me to your sister so she could do my hair? And what I did.
Tell me you didn't. Tell me it ain't so. Come on, man.
I took her to my sister and let my sister do her hair. And the whole time my sister doing her hair, we like going back and forth during text messages. And then I'm on Instagram and I see that her and the girl still going back and forth over Instagram, because, you know, she had done called the girl, so-called, and told her, oh, you know, like, I'm not going to do this with you. We're going to be together, blah, 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 blah. But, so now they're going back and forth. But what she don't know is I'm on a girl page through somebody else's page, so I can see this. You know, like, I can see the back and forth through the comments. So me being the person that I am or was, like, I didn't want my sister to know. And that's how you know when you're going to take somebody back and when you're not done dealing with their BS, because you don't want your family to know.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Because I didn't want my sister to know that we was arguing. Like, my sister could have never told that whole time that we was going back and forth through a text message, over Instagram, nothing. But afterwards, when I finished on her, she was like, y'all was acting weird. She called me the next day. She was like, y'all was acting weird. And I still didn't say nothing. Because even though I didn't take her back right away, I ended up taking her back later on. And so, you know, if I knew I was going to continue to bring her around, I couldn't tell my sister, because my sister was going to beat her up. My older sister do not play them type of games. So the fact that I, you know, like, we sitting there, my sister's doing her hair and we going back and forth, like, other people who knew, other friends who's watching it, because they didn't follow the girl, they follow me, they follow Maya, they like, they messaging me, they texting me, they like, man, y'all shouldn't be doing this over social media, like, everything. Because I, you know, back then it's like, and I'm gonna say back then for me, because I don't pull all my information on social media anymore, but like people, they put all of their arguments, their whole relationship on Instagram. And that's what was happening. Like, I made a whole post on Instagram like, yeah, y'all laughing under this girl post and thinking it's cute. You know, y'all fake AF, because all y'all supposed to be my friends, but y'all sitting here laughing and commenting, talking about they cute. F all of y'all, you know, and F both of them too. You know, I was talking big stuff, but I'm sitting here in the same room with the girl.
Mm-hmm. Preach.
Y'all, it was sad. It was sad. I learned a lot. And that's what I'm saying. Like, it took a lot for me to get to the point in that relationship where I was like, I'm done. I'll never go back. There ain't nothing nobody could do, give me, or nothing for me to go back. That should have been that point. But unfortunately, I didn't stop fooling with Maya until I was 21. Yep, 21 going on 22 is when me and Maya stopped fooling around. So, that, what, 2-3 more years after that? Guess how many more times after that she cheated? But not cheated because after that point, we were never officially together again. But we still were, in a situationship for years after that. So, moral to the story is, y'all, don't be dumb. Don't stay in a toxic relationship because you think that person love you. This all you have. Nobody else is gonna love you because they done made you feel like nobody else wants you. That's BS, because somebody else out there will treat you right and do right by you and not cheat on you. They might not be the perfect person in the world, but they're not gonna cheat on you. Don't let just wanting some love be a reason that you stay in something stupid. Because I stayed in something stupid and I don't understand. I still to this day don't understand myself. Like, I can never look back and be like, I did it because of this. I don't know why I did. I thought I was in love. And that's all I can say is I thought I was in love. And it hurt so bad to not be in this. It was like I was hurt when I was there, but I was hurt when I was not there too. So what was the lesser hurt?
Being
there because you think
it takes time and maturity to figure that all out though. I feel like not everybody been in like that exact situation, but everybody done been in a situation where it's definitely hard to walk away. Whether they young, sometimes they old, where you need to walk away, but you kind of lose yourself in a relationship and you feel like
you don't know who you are without it.
So it's like, I would rather just put up with the BS because I don't want to have to start over. Like, I don't want to have to date. I've already put in so much time here.
And I've done so much for this person. This person loves me so much. Like, who could ever know the things about me or do the things for me? Because it's like, you love somebody for a reason. Because when you fell in love with them, they weren't showing you all of the bad things. People don't show you all the bad things. But
sometimes they do.
So sometimes they do, but she didn't. To be honest, she didn't. So, not in the it took a while, and then when the bad things started happening, I'm just like, what? Who are you? It took me years to find out that that's who she really was. The bad stuff was who she really was. The good stuff was the front, But so it was just like, man, I look back on it now, and I'm like, I learned a lot. It helped me in my future become a stronger person. Not, just let people run over me in relationships. Not just allow things that you're not okay with. Like, it made me, anytime there was a red flag, I was like, oh, no, baby, no. We ain't doing that. But it definitely for years to come, it put a damper on my dating life. But I mean, you live and you learn, and you become, when you know better, you do better. So I'm definitely a better person now. I mean, my dating life is amazing. Because I'm not dating anymore. Well, I am dating. I'm going to always date. Because you're supposed to always date your wife, your significant other. Like, you never stop dating. You just stop dating around. You just date one person, continuously pursuing one person. Because if anybody who's married say they're not dating the person that they with, then what you doing? So we always date. We always date, right, babe?
For sure.
We do all the little cutesy stuff. So years later, we're still cute. But yeah, so that was the story time, y'all. Tell me what y'all think. What would you have done if you were me? Let me know. Don't forget to subscribe. Like the video. And if you want another story time, I have plenty of stories.
I don't have that many.
And I got worse stories. That's the bad part, is that I have worse stories with the same person. But yeah. So if you want another story time, or if you want a story time about me and my wife, it ain't nothing crazy.
No.
But
not yet.
Not yet. It'll never be nothing crazy, y'all. It'll never be nothing crazy.
I be chilling.
Yeah, she be chilling. But we be chilling together.
Yeah, she ain't crazy. See,
I'm not crazy.
I ain't got to see her be crazy.
You'll never have to see me be crazy because you don't make me. You don't do anything to make me crazy. Yeah, the blowing up the phone, the pulling up.
Yeah, I only have one time in my whole life where I think somebody made me have an out of body experience. Just once.
Yeah, I was out of body. I definitely was out of body that day. But I wasn't out of body enough because, let me tell you, the thought of losing her made me calm down, even though I should have fought her.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Because I went there to fight her. I pulled up to her house, and I don't even wear tennis shoes for real. I went there to fight her. I was like, we're gonna fight. Because if she say one lie to me, we about to fight. I went there to fight, and then, you know, get the yap, make you feel stupid. But whatever. The thought of losing her made, you know, it overwhelmed the hurt that I was feeling. I don't make it make sense. Make it make sense.
It don't have to make sense.
It don't, because it won't. Because a lot of people go through it. Yeah. If you went through it, tell me y'all stories down below, because I know y'all done went through it too. So tell me y'all stories down below. Let me know if you want another story time. And we'll see y'all on the next one.
Peace.